Greetings, friends, and welcome to the woods. Today I want to share the crazy experience that I had the other day in the cinema, where I got to watch two diametrically opposed worldview movies, stories, within back to back, within a short space of time. And with each one, I had to walk out of the theater and ask myself, what did I just see? And in one case, I was answered. The maker of the film tacked on to the ending. This is who I am. This is why I made this movie, and this is the message I want to give you, which was nice because it was both of these stories are very emotionally charged. Now, one of them was what I'd call a fever dream. It's horror. So, horrifying content, intentionally so. It's a horror film. But it had a very specific and explicit message, which was the opposite message of the next one that I saw. The first one was Night Patrol. And it's a horror movie about uh, impoverished African American. I think that's the term that we're supposed to be using now. I hope so. Uh, it was centered around a young man and his mother, but mostly the young man. And he was in a situation where he and his entire community were being persecuted simply for being the race that they are. That's the only reason. And it had to do with their background. It kind of implied their spiritual background. I wish that they had shown us more about that. But the way it was phrased, the way it was shown is, no, it's not your spiritual, it's your DNA. Your blackness is in opposition to these vampires who just want to destroy you because you're the only one, your essence of what you are. You're the only one who can fight what they are. But they didn't make it your essence as in the quality of your soul, your spirit, your character, who you are on the inside, who you really are. They made it the identity of what you are on the outside. Not how you comport yourself, but what you show, what others can see. It's your skin color. That's what makes you strong and powerful. But you also have to know these spiritual things. But that's not the important thing. It's your identity. And of course, they depicted it was kind of a marriage of the poor people against the police. And the poor people are African American, and the police are all white, all Caucasian. Well, not all of them, but all of the ones in this special category of powerful and vampires. Apparently, they're also vampires. And it doesn't matter if you're a good person, if you're white, you become a vampire and then you're bad and you do all these bad things. They had a character who was a good person. It's white men. There's no women in there. I don't recall seeing any women. It's white males. And there was one that his father was part of the vampire, or the vampire leader, and he did not want to be involved in that in any way whatsoever. He joined the special unit thinking it was a special unit, come to find out that it was a bunch of killers, and he fought it, and he was incorporated anyway, and he became a bad guy anyway, and it doesn't matter because if you're white, you're just condemned, and it's all about what's on the outside, and minimally about what you embrace from your culture, but mostly it's what you are on the outside. And there was some potential for it to be very interesting, but if they had leaned into the spirituality more, but that wasn't its message. Its message was, it's all what you identify, the show, the external, and the identity that other people see you as. And yeah, um, okay. And it was very about the division. It's division. There's nothing you can do. You are who you are, and you just need to fight you need to fight the person from the other tribe, and they're that tribe. It doesn't matter what they want or who they are or what they do. It's just skin color, and you fight, 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 fight. Okay, fever dream. I'm sure that there are those who are having this nightmare, but the other one I saw back to back. Um, it Having trouble remembering its name because it didn't last in theaters long. The day after I saw it, it was gone. Um, I I was a stranger, and it showed these different stories from the standpoint of one particular person, and different people from different backgrounds and different characters, different ways of expressing themselves in the world, and how they're all just trying to get along and they're all just trying to do the best they can. And they all want to help each other, but some of them are in very bad situations where they can't. And they're trying to survive in a very difficult world, in a war-filled world, a very difficult situation, a very difficult place. And that we need to understand that and be tolerant of each other and know that we're all doing the best that we can. And it was centered around a war-torn country and those who are trying to escape that into a better place, and those who are trying to help those who are escaping, but they're having trouble with the how much charity can they give. And it is showing the different families, all the different families, and how the hard situations are affecting them. Those who are heroes, those who stand up and do the right thing even though they lose everything, and those who cave to the darkness, who are more service to self, and the consequences of their choices, but that they're all trying. At the root of it, they're all human. And it was so diametrically opposed to the, hate the other tribe, and there's nothing you can do, versus we're all human and we all need to work together. And even if it's just one small act, it will make a big difference. Just one small act can make a huge difference in other people's lives and your own. And how standing up for what's right, what you believe, what you know in your heart to be true, how that benefits you, how that makes you more as a human, more as a person, and how working together can bring us together and make a better world. And at the very end of it, and at the end of it, I'm crying, of course, because there's some very tragic things that happen, and I'm I get that the studio that made this has been making a lot of inspirational, trying to show us um, more about our world and how we can work together, trying to show us inspirational people, inspirational stories. And I realize it comes from that background, it comes from that space. But I'm asking myself, who put this together? This is so well balanced and so compassionate. And, I'm used to Hollywood producing the one that I just saw. And where did this one come from? And the person who made it showed up on screen and talked about he had gone into the migrant camps. He had got to know the people. He got to know their stories, and he got to see the whole dynamics of the tragedy of how all of that worked. And he wanted to bring their stories to us to show we're all humans. We're not so different. We need to work together. We need to figure out how to work together to resolve all of all of the problems that we are confronted with every day. We can make this better. And the fact that he came on to talk to us directly during the credits, um, that was really nice. I wish more storytellers were willing to open up and explain the purpose behind why they put so much effort into giving us this content, giving us these narrations. So, um, diametrically opposed stories, two completely different messages. Why did this happen? I think because we have two very different contingents in our nation, in our world right now, and some who are choosing to continue to hold the idea of tribal warfare, us against them. Protect your tribe, protect your family, protect your tribe above everything. I don't want to be part of the human race. I'm part of my tribe. That comes first. And those who want to unite us, all humans work together. We're diverse, sure, but that's our strength. That's our beauty. That's what makes our world more interesting and a better place to be. It doesn't have to be something that divides us, something we have to compete with each other and work against each other. It could be something that brings us together. It can be something where we enrich each other. We learn different things by having different ways of living, different ways of being, different ways of seeing things. And we get to share that with each other. So our world is enriched. Two different ways of seeing things, and not necessarily compatible. And I think that's why we're seeing these storylines that are at odds. Thank you for spending time with me on this cold January day, sunset, and welcome to the woods.